The CZ P10C. It's here. The CZ P10C. Very cool gun. We've been waiting for a long time to get our hands on this thing. Some of the other popular YouTubers out there got theirs a long time ago. We're not quite as popular as they are. I know that Tim from Military Arms Channel he's probably had the first P10C in the country that landed in his hands. So, you know, some of those guys, again, they're a little more popular than we are. They bring in that bank. So, you know, the people aren't quite as quick to get these guns to us. However, Tim does have a good video, by the way, probably a couple of them on the P10C. But I'm going to try to do some things that probably some of those guys haven't. I know I'll repeat some of the things that they have, but I want to show you some of the features that appeal to me. Again, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be rappelling out of a helicopter or doing barrel rolls and getting up and shooting at people. I'm a regular guy. I carry to defend myself and my family, and that's what our videos are geared towards, is the average everyday guy like us that doesn't have a military or law enforcement background, that just carries to protect our family. So we're going to take a real hard look at this thing. One of the first things I want to point out to you is the fact that it looks so much like the P07. So much like the P07. This is an older CZ model that's hammer fired. I have one of those too that I really, really like. The grip area is probably the most noticeable difference between the two, other than the fact that this one doesn't have a hammer and it is striker fired. Slide is almost identical. If you already own the P07, you're going to be very familiar with the controls of this to a certain degree. Again, obviously this is striker fired. But one of the coolest things about it, I like the fact that the magazines in the P07, right now, for now, it won't fit in the P10C, but they will at some point. But you can use the P10C's magazines in the P07. A lot of it has to do with this notch right here. This thing is an ambi pistol, so it's full ambi. It's not like the Glock. That's you can make it ambi. This thing is fully ambi out the box. So the fact that you have this notch in the front of your magazine there, that's what allows this magazine to actually be fully ambi and be able to be controlled to release from either side, the right side or the left side. I'm not a lefty, so I kind of tend to forget about the lefties out there sometimes, but they're people too, right? Unboxing the P10C is nothing special. It's your basic CZ case that everyone has seen if you've got a CZ. It comes with 2 magazines. It actually comes with 3 different size back straps. That's kind of cool. The small one is the one that's on here. I prefer to wrap my hand as much around this as I possibly can, so I left the smaller one on there. I actually like that. Of course, it's got your cleaning brush, and it's got a lock. Again, pretty basic in terms of your unboxing, not much different, not much to talk about there. One cool thing that I will point out about the P10's magazines is the fact that the indicator on the back, and I'm not sure if I can get that in focus there, but the load indicator on the back showing the round count in the magazines, when the actual rounds get in front of those indicators, they actually show up. Some of the magazines out there that have a supposed indicator round that's going to mark how many rounds are in the magazine, the rounds actually don't line up with those holes. So you're still left guessing how many rounds you have in the magazine. If you'll notice all the way down to the 15th round, which is how many rounds these P10Cs hold, you will notice that you can see the round on the 15th round all the way down there. That shows that this mag is in fact fully loaded to capacity. Speaking of magazines, another cool thing that the P10C has is these small little indentions right above where the mag well is. If you notice the little indentions right there, that's in the event that you have a dirty or a bent magazine and you use the slide release lever and it does not release and the magazine stays jammed in there. You have a little bit more room to retract that magazine. Again, if you get kind of get in a bind, kind of like the Glock. Glock has it in the front right here, this little notch that a whole lot of people have complained about that. It's a finger pincher. So you hear a lot about that on the Glock, but again, they have the same concept of that in the P10C, just on the side right here. A lot of what that tells me is a lot of the features that the P10C has included in this gun tells me that they're aiming at the law enforcement, especially, probably military too, but law enforcement especially, because they're putting some things in there that a battle-ready guy or a battle-hardened guy is going to need in terms of duty use. You see that in a lot of ways. You see that in the sights. Great sights right here, but very durable dovetail sights. You also see that, like I said, in the mag release, the mag well, having that room to grip. You see that in the ambi mag release. You see that in the, if you'll notice, the trigger guard is very, very pronounced and very large. Larger, in fact, than the area of the Generation Glock, the Generation 5 Glock, sorry. So you'll notice it's ready, which this trigger is back obviously. And you'll notice there's a good bit of area. P10C has a good bit of area bigger than the Glock. I don't know what the measurement there is, but if you are wearing gloves, you will have a little bit more room to insert that gloved hand, that gloved finger into the trigger guard. Slide serrations. Finally, someone figured out that we, as the end user, as commercial users of your products, want front cocking serrations along with rear cocking serrations, and we want them deep enough to where whether we're grabbing them without gloves or with gloves, we can still charge this thing. Very important, Glock, that you listen to your customers sometimes and apply the things that they're asking for that's on their wish list, put them on the gun that you're going to put out, and realize that we are going to like it, which means we will purchase your firearm from you. These things are deep. I like them. If you're the press check, the reach around kind of guy and you want to do this, yeah, you're good. You're good. I like them on the front because if I'm sitting here, my hands are a little bit wide. So if I'm grabbing them on the back, I can charge the thing. Or if I want to grab it towards the front, less likely to do it on the front. But you know what? They're there if I want them. If I choose not to use them, fine. I'll grab the rear ones. That's cool. But again, the press check kind of guys, it's there for you. And the thing is, they're deep enough to where when you do press check or charge this thing, it's not going to slip out of your hand. You have plenty of purchase on this thing to where when you grab it, you're not going to feel like I got to really get a monster Hulk grip on this thing. You just grab hold of it and that thing really kind of digs in your hand a little bit the way you want it to, in a good way. Another feature that the P10C has, that the P07 also has, is this little spot forward of the frame where your support thumb goes. Anyone that knows how to pistol shoot properly, don't listen to your boyfriend or your husband if they're trying to tell you, because they're probably telling you wrong. We see it all the time at the range. But if you know how to shoot properly, you know that that left thumb goes under here. Let's no teacup it. This is not how we carry it. You want to put that left thumb forward on the frame, and it's supposed to rest just beneath the slide. Guess what? Right where this little area right here is. The P07 has the same thing. Actually, the P07 is a little bit more aggressive. It's a little bit more rearward than the P10C is, but it has basically the same texturizing on the frame as this P10C does. So CZ definitely listens and they learn and they use some of the things that they do from an innovative standpoint forward on some of their other guns. Again, obviously they learned that from the P07 and applied it to the P10C. I like that. If nothing else, if you're not looking at your pistol and you're going to draw your weapon, you feel where it goes. You know what I mean? Like everything's compared against the Glock, right? Here's a Glock 19. You have that spot right here where you and I are going to put our thumbs, but it doesn't feel any different than the rest of the frame or the slide or anything like that. It's just got that smooth, real fine texturing to it. So you're not going to feel, oh, is my support thumb, maybe say in a high stress situation, is my support thumb in the right place? The P10C and of course the P07, they do that. When you grab that gun and you're going to draw and you're not paying attention to placement of your hands on the pistol itself, you're going to know you're in the right place. It feels different. If my hand is too far forward, I'm going to know that my hand is too far forward and I need to bring that thumb backwards a little bit. I probably wouldn't be too far backwards because my shooting thumb is going to be in the way, but if it were, I feel that there's some print right there. So I know that I need to go forward with it and get in my placement. The cool thing is CZ put it where it belongs. They put it in the right place, so you don't have to search for it. When you go forward, it's there. It's right where it needs to be. You're not having to go, okay, you're not even have to feel, am I in the right place? Yeah, you're in the right place. CZ put it where it goes. Now, as does the Glock, the P10C has this little extractor point right here that has a little bit more meat on it, and it's bumped out. What that does is whenever you have a round in the chamber, this is the indicator that you can feel. Normally that piece right there of the extractor is going to be flush with your slide, so it's going to be flat across there and smooth across there as you bridge that gap between the extractor and your slide. What happens is whenever you chamber around, that thing bumps out. It's hitting the back of that round, so it's pushing itself out because it's propped up on it. Now on the P10C, there is a little bit of a red paint area that you can slightly see, but it definitely protrudes so you can feel if you have a round in there. Again, just like the Glock does. The Glock has the exact same thing on its extractor in the same place. But I would say this, for two reasons. I am not one to trust any of these extractor notifications that are trying to tell you that you have a round in the chamber. Again, for two reasons. One, if I am loading my pistol to carry with a round in the chamber, I'm probably still going to either do a press check or be very conscious that when I do load a round, I see that round go up into the chamber. I'm not going to rely on a chamber indicator of any sort to tell me that I am protecting myself in the event that I need to use that pistol that particular day, on the fact that I just looked at something or saw something other than that round going into the chamber itself. On the other hand, I'm never going to rely on those indicators either, because if I'm looking at it now where there's nothing in the pistol, I also don't want to rely on that from a safety standpoint in the event that I'm about to tear my pistol down, field strip it, or anything of that nature, because I don't want to say, oh, I can visually see that I don't have anything in there, so there's no need to actually check, and then I go to break the gun down, pull the trigger, and there might be something in there. So I always check anyway as a backup. But for those of you that need that peace of mind to be able to glance at your pistol, to know that you do in fact have a round chambered or you don't, that indicator is there for you to do that. But again, I stress to you, know your weapons and know what you have and how your pistol is equipped or outfitted at any given time. Don't rely on indicators like that. Look to see that that round is in the chamber, or look to see that the round is not in the chamber in the event you are going to tear this thing down or needs to be in safe mode. One of the things that you will notice in terms of aesthetics and even usability is the fact that, remember the little area where Glock on the Gen 5 did not finish, where they actually did a cool thing by cutting the slide to allow it to be reholstered a little bit quickly and more effectively, and they didn't taper the actual frame to match it? Well, CZ did, so let's just say they finished it. And I mentioned sights. Yep, we got them. These sights are dead on the money, very easy to acquire. I like the fact that they are metal sights, they're not plastic, but out the box, again, on the money. Now we're at 10 yards here, so we're not exactly going to set any world records here, but the thing is very accurate, just freehanding the thing. Now Wally, I know I've been a little hard on the beef today, but look, the reason why we talk about Glock so much and we make so many comparisons to Glock is because Glock is king of the hill. Glock is the one that everybody's shooting after. Heck, CZ makes no bones about it, the fact that they're aiming for the Glock market, the law enforcement and military side of the market. So that's why I'm somewhat hard on Glocks. Guys, I like Glocks. I don't want to hurt any of the feelings of the Glock guys out there. I know you guys are probably gearing up right now, sweating over your keyboards and really ready to pound it out and let me have it. I don't even know how many Glocks I have because I have so many. It's a great pistol, it's a great gun, but everybody aims for it. And I like to point out the things that Glock needs to do better. There's some things that Glock needs to do. They need to listen to the consumer. Yes, they don't have to. They have so much of the market share, they probably don't care. But they could sell more if they did. The P10C addresses a lot of the same things that people have complained about Glocks for many, many years. The P10 corrects those things. It makes it right. The P10C is a great, great choice. If you're looking for something in that price point of, say, the Glocks and all the other striker fires out there that are so popular in 9mm, which, by the way, this will be available to P10C and 40 very soon for those of you that may want it. It's in 9mm right now. With the P10C coming right around in that range of the $500 mark, that's going to position it to be very, very competitive in this striker fired market right now that everybody is so eager to get into and dominate right now. And again, Glock has such a large portion of that market share right now. The P10C could very possibly take a bite out of that Glock market, but it's not going to happen. The reason why is because they're not going to produce enough of these. I do feel like the P10C and other variations, barrel lengths that come later on, are going to be very, very popular, very extreme to the point of not being able to keep these things on the shelf. Well, you already can't keep these things on the shelf. Every one of these things that hits a store, it's gone. There's waiting lists for these P10Cs right now. So even whenever they do mass produce these things in a little bit more quantity, they're still going to be gone. CZ does not have the ability, or at least they decide not to, keep up with the production to put enough of these things out to be able to take any kind of a sizable, meaningful bite out of that Glock market. It's just not going to happen. They're going to take a little bit of it, but they're surely never going to dominate unless they can increase production to get these things out a little bit quicker and get it to that end user much, much faster than what they're able to now.